as the 13th ranked Seton Hall Pirates take on the Georgetown Hoyas. Hello everyone, I'm Brian Custer alongside Sarah Kustok. You know, this week Seton Hall suffered their first conference loss. Meanwhile, Georgetown coming off a win over St. John's, but today it's all about the big men. Two of the best in the Big East you're going to see today, and Jesse Govan and Angel Delgado, both average a double-double, Sarah.
They're going to be going at one another, and especially on the glass. It's the way that they use their physicality. They understand how to put themselves in position to not only score, get after the glass, but Brian, we're going to have to look for them both seeing double teams. How can they facilitate, distribute, find their teammates out of that?
Let's get right to the starting lineup. Let's start with Patrick Ewing's Georgetown Hoyas. And listen, he's just one of 4 Division I squads who've got 2 players who average over 14 points and over 7 rebounds in Marcus Derrickson and Jesse Govan. As for Kevin Willard and his Seton Hall Pirates, well, it's the seniors, Kadeem Carrington and Desi Rodriguez, both averaging 19 points a game in conference play. It is sold out here at The Rock. Our officials are Brian O'Connell, Earl Walton, and Nathan Farrell. Govan, Delgado, jump, and it is the Pirates in the home white. Control the tip. Carrington up top to Rodriguez. Over Caleb Johnson, knocks down the jumper.
Senior gets it going. Desi Rodriguez is such a threat because that's what he could do. He could shoot from 3, get to the basket, and find his space with a nice little pull-up there.
Some pressure by the Pirates. Here's Derrickson, averages 14 and 7. His first shot's no good. Rodriguez with the board. And Seton Hall doing what they love to do, get in transition. Inside, Delgado working against Govan. The left-handed hook is short.
And you saw the way that Govan just pushed Delgado off of his spots. That's what these big men need to do. Make it uncomfortable on their touches. Don't allow guys to get where they want to on the areas of the floor.
Hoyas love to go through Govan. His first jumper, air ball. Derrickson, the rebound, and the follow. Well, Patrick Ewing in his first season as head coach of those Georgetown Hoyas, hired in April, led the Hoyas to 3 NCAA national title games, 84 national championship. Derrickson completes the 3-point play.
Tremendous job with this group thus far. He likes what they're doing defensively, Brian, but he said now it's about getting stops and creating offense off of it.
And then they get a turnover here. Here come the Hoyas. First one for Seton Hall. Derrickson, long 3, got it.
That was smooth. Derrickson stepped right into it. I'm not quite sure that was the defense to offense that Ewing was necessarily talking about generating, but it is the early offense. The looking for your open shots and getting a good feel of flowing into it out of transition.
Here's Carrington. Step back. Enzi with the offensive rebound. They call it traffic.
And Derrickson is just so smooth on the offensive end. He was the trailing big man and realizes he had just enough space. Enzi wasn't stepping out to contest the shot, probably because he was so deep from 3, but that's a big part of Derrickson's game he's worked on. He's shooting 44% from 3. Every year there's been an uptick in how efficient he's been able to shoot from the arc.
Once again, working inside to Govan, working on Delgado, turns, kisses it off the glass. Govan was averaging 10 points and 5 boards last season, 18 and 11 this season.
And that's just a beautiful play. Powell understanding that Enzi was hanging around on the baseline, and there's so much attention often on Delgado, on players like Rodriguez and Carrington, that you've got to stay attached to them on the wings. That allows a player like Enzi, who's a straight hustle guy, to find his spots, and I love the delivery by Powell.
Well, here's Enzi at the line. 54% free throw shooter. That one rolls out. Kevin Willard in his 8th season as the head Pirate, and listen, his squad is 10-0 so far this season at home. Looking for the 13th straight home victory. Willer's 7-4 in his career against Georgetown. This is a Seton Hall squad that has won their last 4 straight against the Hoyas.
And you see the pressure here, full court pressure, trying to get the Hoyas.
Malmore, the dump off to Govan. Easy basket.
To turn it over, but the Hoyas have done an excellent job staying composed and breaking that pressure through passes, advancing the ball up quickly.
7-point lead. Here's Delgado. Thought about it and stripped. Malmore. Used the left hand, missed it. Caleb Johnson with the follow.
If you're Patrick Ewing, you love what your team is doing on the defensive end. They have been physical. They've been doing what they can to push the tempo. And as we see right here, excellent job by engaging in the defense and then just an easy dish to your big man Govan.
Here's the junior Caleb Johnson. Virginia, first substitution. Ishmael Sanogo will come in. NC will have a seat.
Sanogo comes in. He is an excellent defender, one of the best in the Big East. So curious to see how he's able to impact this game and what he can do defensively, doing some of those intangibles for Kevin Willard.
Seton Hall coming off that loss to Marquette, 20-point loss to the Golden Eagles in that game. Sanogo scored a career-high 14 for the Pirates.
It's probably like, I'm tired of people just calling me a defensive player. I can score too.
Here's Delgado. And he was looking for Sanogo. That one was too hot.
And that's where Delgado continues to improve, because he's got excellent vision. And he understands he's going to have second guys coming at him, knowing where the double team is coming from, but not just being able to know where to pass it to, but putting touch on the delivery.
How about that graphic we just saw there? 4 turnovers already for the Pirates, none for the Hoyas. And the Hoyas is one of those teams in the Big East who turns it over more than any team in the conference. But they're protecting the basketball thus far. Rodriguez, the 3, got it. This Pirate squad 9-0 when he's the leading scorer. Once again, they always start that offense into Govan. That's why. Johnson cut, got an easy bucket.
Understood exactly what to do on that play with the cut, because his defender had left him. And that's where it becomes such a challenge when you have open players that understand how to move off of those double teams.
Sanogo, ball fake, drive. Back and forth we go. Inside again, Govan spins, airballs the jump hook. Carrington, and they're gonna call it a block. They said he was inside the restricted area.
And what a start it's been from Georgetown. They've done an excellent job defensively and then passing to find.
FS1 College Hoops is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Georgetown, early 4-point lead over the Seton Hall Pirates and getting it done defensively. It forced 4 turnovers of the Hoyas, or I should say of the Pirates, so far early on.
Well, 7 points off those turnovers. And what did Patrick Ewing tell us when we chatted with him before the game? He said our team needs to find ways to get easy baskets. A lot of what we're doing defensively is a solid job, but we're not able to generate offense off of that. And the Hoyas have come out of the gates here today hot on the defensive end, getting stops, pushing the ball up, getting some early offense, and whether it's been from the 3-point line or finding ways just to do a better job in getting layups. They've been unselfish, making the extra pass. Just a beautiful job for Patrick Ewing on both ends of the floor.
Kadeem Carrington, senior, completes the 3-point play. Cuts that lead to 3. Here comes the pressure by the Pirates. Here's Malmore, he'll run things. Gets the pick from Govan. 10 seconds now on the shot clock. This is the freshman Blair inside the Govan with 5. Turns. Misses, but there's Derrickson. He misses the follow, but the tip is good by Govan.
Not sure the way they drew, that's the way that they drew it up, but a good job sticking with the play and getting it to finish. Seton Hall dropping back into that 2-3 zone, so Georgetown's got to get ready to see changing defenses.
Miles Powell misses the three. Ewing talked about before the game, we've got to rebound, take care of the basketball, and so far the Hoyas have done that. This is the freshman, knocks it down with that lovely left.
Nice looking shot from Blair.
Got the start today. Generally has come off the bench. He was the Big East freshman of the week last week. No go. Doesn't get the roll. Delgado, look at the floor. Guys diving on the floor for the loose ball.
I'll tell you what, this is Big East basketball. These guys going after so many of the 50-50 balls, but there's also some finesse to the game. Look at Siobhan Blair here. Doing a good job of utilizing that screen, finding a way to get that shot to fall, and then here's just sticking with the shot, getting an extra look. Some of those second chance opportunities for Georgetown. It was a disjointed offensive play. They weren't able to get into the set that they wanted to run, but still, it's when you can clean up the glass, it often helps you get some extra looks.
Here's Johnson. They kick it around to Mulmore. Rodriguez claims the boards. Here comes the Pirates again. Got the advantage. Powell. Ball fake. Drive. Blocked by Govan.
I'll tell you what, that's a difference in Miles Powell game. And this is playing to the scouting report. He's a three-point shooter. You get him to put it on the floor. But it's not easy when you got a guy like Jesse Govan in the middle who was tracking that the entire time. Beautiful job on the block.
Govan third in the conference in blocks. Here's Carrington. Delgado, the 12-footer, too strong. And this is how different Georgetown is. Forget about that Princeton offense they used to run. Now Patrick Ewing loves the offense where it goes into the big man first. Here's Blair, follows up his own miss.
Blair staying with it. Oftentimes when you're a shooter, you know exactly where the ball is going to be coming off.
Largest lead for the Hoyas, it's 10.
But that's what Georgetown has done so well, getting back in transition. Every time Seton Hall is looking to push the ball, what they do so well, excellent job identifying the ball handler, identifying where shooters are on the floor. They're not allowing Seton Hall to get some of those easy open court looks that they often do.
Trey Dickerson has checked in. Jonathan Mulmore will get his first break. Deep three by Carrington, off the mark. Seton Hall has missed its last 5 shots. Ten now on the shot clock for Johnson, and he'll call that screen on Govan.
And a foul there, but as you mentioned, this is more of what Georgetown does. As you see Govan moving a little bit to try and clear up space for Johnson, but they do a lot more setting ball screens on the wing. We've seen a lot of high pick and roll actions. They had Govan in the middle at first, but they pulled him out. There's changing actions offensively that make it difficult for a defense to cover.
First turnover for the Hoyas. Here's Carrington in the lane. Knocks it down. Good touch.
Oh, Carrington. And that's just an example of his patience. Changing speeds, finding the area in the middle of the floor.
Blair missed it, follow no, but it's the Hoyas who reclaim the offensive rebound, and they travel.
Despite the travel on that play, that's why Jesse Govan leads the Big East in rebounding, because of the way He stays on the board. He's got guards that are also in the thing with a player like Govan, we saw Delgado on him trying to push him out. You got to body him out. And the same goes for Delgado at the other end. It's not enough just to be next to him when the ball is up around the rim. You got to make sure you push him out of the area so he can't get his hands on the ball. Jordan
Walker is checked in. He's got the basketball now for Seton Hall. Govan has a seat. Good look inside to Sanogo. And he'll go to the line. It's an 8-point lead for those Georgetown Hoyas here in Jersey. Point lead for the Georgetown Hoyas over the Seton Hall Pirates. Let's go in the huddle with Seton Hall.
No one's hitting anybody right now. No one's hitting anybody. We're giving free runs. We're losing our guys. Stop losing your guys. Let's make sure we're focused in. We're not losing our guys. Understand?
Find somebody to hit. That's it. So we can rebound. It can't be just Angel hit. The guards have to rebound the basketball.
And I think the most important thing said there about the guards rebounding. We talk so much about Govan and about Delgado and about Derrickson, but it's about group and team rebounding. Everyone's got to get in. Everyone's got to hit a player. And you imagine, of course, Kevin Willard asking for physicality. This Seton Hall team, normally that's their strength. That's what they do. They beat on guys. They beat on you. They're able to move you and be physical using their bodies. And Georgetown has really been the aggressor coming out of the gates here tonight.
This is Jagan Mosley. Derrickson. Marco Pickett now has checked in, seeing his first action. Derrickson. Good drop-off, but blocked at the rim by Sanogo. Miles Cale, the freshman. Pull up. Got it.
Nice little home rim roll that Cale gets, but Miles Cale is a shooter. He can do everything, and we see a very energetic lineup in here for Seton Hall, including point guard Jordan Walker.
There's Sanogo. You talked about his defense coming up with the steal. Miles Powell, he loves the three. Too strong. Pickett cleans the boards. Here comes the Hoyas. They love the fast pace as well.
Defense turns into offense here for Seton Hall. Beautiful job by Sanogo, how high he's able to get up. And then on the other end of the floor, it's Miles Cale, who really can score at all different levels. He's been a guy, freshman, who's come in and earned his time.
Blocked by Powell. 2-on-1 now. He lays it up and in.
Beautiful job by Powell. And this really is an energy group for Kevin Willard, the second unit coming off the bench. Exactly what he asks out of these guys, the characteristics that they bring, they have turned into points and production.
Quick timeout. We'll be back.
At Taco Bell, the dollar gets you access to more. Like the new $1 stacker with lavish layers of seasoned beef and melty cheese. But how can all these layers only cost $1? Something's not stacking up. Is the $1 stacker reserved for a secret society? Or just anyone with $1? The answer is yes.
Well, 4-point lead for Georgetown, and all of a sudden this second unit for Seton Hall paying for dividends.
Well, they listened to Coach Willard and what he was asking of them, but you saw there the block and just a heads-up decision there by Miles Powell to continue to attack. He understood that he had Walker running alongside of him, but does a good job with the finish, and this group has just been a spark.
6-0 run by Seton Hall, and Patrick Ewing had seen enough, trying to cut that momentum. He's brought Govan back in, and they run that offense through him. 10 now on the shot clock. Here's Dickerson. That's too strong. And there is Derrickson for the follow.
Derrickson just uses his body, gets position, Every time a shot goes up, he turns it into almost what you would do defensively in trying to get in front of your player.
Long three by the freshman. And that's not the shot you want.
It's a good way to put it.
Not the shot you want. And he's going to have a seat. Hey, tonight, Big East basketball comes to play on the Fox Business Network as top-ranked Villanova takes on St. John's. It all tips off at 8 Eastern on Fox Business Network, or you can stream it live on Fox Sports Go. Rodriguez guarding Pickett. Nearly stole it. Corner, Pickett. Erickson trying to follow, but he pushed off.
And that's a part of it. Getting the body on him, and that helps to draw those type of fouls. Matt Erickson, he is just all over the glass. His pursuit is something else to watch.
He's got 2 fouls now, so Derrickson's going to have a seat. Antoine Walker will check back in. And let's see if Rodriguez and Carrington can get going. That's the freshman, Sanju Mamus-Kelishvili. Pow! How about that slicing to the hoop?
And how about that finish? To be able to do it, the scoop underneath.
With the left hand.
With the left hand, Govan was right there looking for the block. Crafty.
Here's Pickett from 3. No. Pow, he'll pull. Strong. Govan clears another board. Good steal there. And Miles Powell anticipating. Rodriguez, the crossover, takes the contact and banks it home.
And he got bumped. Talk about a senior saying, hey, freshman, welcome to the Big East. Let me show you how it's done. What a move by Rodriguez.
Lead was once 10, it's now 2. And the crowd has gotten into it here in Newark. The 3 by Govan, and he banks it home. Let me tell you something, it's only 1 o'clock. The banks are open on Saturday.
Did he call it, though? Did he call it? Well, Govan's got a soft touch. He can knock down a 3-point shot. That's not the case.
He certainly did it against St. John's on Wednesday. Oh, it's getting tough. It's getting physical here in Newark.
Rodriguez hard to the basket, gets the finish, and then where's the bank? Give me the bank.
Welcome back. Hey, just moments ago, great ceremony here at Center Court as they honored the 25th anniversary of that Seton Hall 92-93 team that just rolled through the Big East, got as high as number 6 in the country. Of course, they went 28-7, only Hall team to sweep the Big East regular season and the tournament title, and led by P.J. Carlesimo, is being recognized here today as well. And 12 seasons at Seton Hall, 6 NCAA tournament appearances, led by P.J. Carlesimo.
And he is one of the best human beings I've ever come across in my life. Not only does he have that type of resume as a coach, of course, here at Seton Hall, also in the ranks of the NBA, but just the individual that he is. And of course, we'll get to talk to him a little bit more, but he got a chance to talk to the Seton Hall team yesterday at practice.
Yeah, gave him a great motivating speech. I talked to PJ. He coached against Patrick Ewing in the Big East. He was also assistant on that dream team that Ewing was a member of.
We were on a call earlier this week, the media call with Patrick Ewing, and so an individual asked Patrick about P.J. Carlesimo, and he said, who? He said, P.J. Carlesimo, who's that? And then he started laughing, of course, and he talked about his time not only as a player as he was coached against with P.J., but also with the dream team.
Good steal by Desi Rodriguez. And the foul by Pickett. That's Pickett's second personal. Von Blair will check back in. Pickett will have a seat. 1-1 now. for Seton Hall. And the Pirates so far just 3 of 7 from the line. They are statistically the worst free throw shooting team in the conference.
And tough for Seton Hall considering how much they do get to the line and some of these players that could take advantage.
Desi misses the 1-and-1. Here comes the Hoyas. Good steal. Miles Powell dunks it home.
I tell you what, we talk so much about the 3 seniors on Seton Hall, deservedly so, but the sophomore Miles Powell today and for this team has come out and has changed the complexion of his game.
He's the spark plug, no doubt, for this squad, especially when that jumper is on. Carrington, wide open is Rodriguez. Count it. First lead of the day for the Pirates. They're up 1. Carrington slapping the floor, and the crowd's into it. Dickerson. In the crowd, tried to force that one.
Miles Powell, watch his eyes, his vision. He sees the ball the entire time, shoots the gap so quickly. Has a little exclamation point with the jam, and then it's Desi Rodriguez from the wing. Beautiful job. He's been a threat from the three-point line, 35%. Didn't come into Seton Hall as a shooter, more of a big man.
From 3. 9-0 run for the Pirates, and the lead is now 4.
Did you say pow?
Pow by Powell. 2 straight chips from Georgetown, 2 turnovers. Mulmore knocks down the 3.
And that was quite a contest by Carrington. A good job by Mulmore to be able to get off that shot. And that contest caused him to have just enough arc, but a beautiful delivery.
Here's Miles Powell, drives. That one's knocked away.
Not only has Powell generated offense from his steals, but also showing his range. And really, when we talk about Miles Powell, that's what he is. That's the bread and butter of his game as a three-point shooter. He led the team last year with 68 made threes. He's shooting over 43% from the arc, so that is where he's really most comfortable.
Von Blair with the drive, and they're going to call Rodriguez with the personal, his first.
And if you're Georgetown, you can't allow the momentum of this crowd and of the environment, and obviously Seton Hall getting going by creating some turnovers defensively. You got to take a step back, be calm, continue to make smart decisions on the offensive end, and start getting some stops on the defensive end, because there's going to be momentum swings within a game.
Here's the freshman, Blair. Little floater. Got it.
Nice job. He does a great job finding the areas in the middle of the floor, in the lane and in the paint, where he's able to create space for himself, get to a spot, and knock down shots.
Patrick Ewing says he plays with no fear. He's got 7 already. He's scored in double figures in 3 of the last 6 games. Drop off, and Delgado finds Enzi.
We've seen that a couple times from the left side of the floor. Now a great pass there by Delgado, the right side of the floor. Both Enzi and Sonogo have done a good job at floating and hanging around that baseline to give a good passing lane for their big man.
That 3 by Blair, no good. Tipped out by Govan.
And Delgado is a threat. You know, all defensive eyes are going to be on him. But here it's just Enzi hanging down low, able to receive that pass. And then again, Javon Blair just on the attack, but savvy enough to find the pull-ups where he's not getting in the areas of the shot blockers.
Seton Hall has made their last 5 shots. Here's Rodriguez. Missed that one. Off of Mulmore. Pirates will retain possession. Here's Carrington. Inside, Delgado spins right off the glass.
Great job, back to the basket. Delgado against Govan. Those guys actually played AAU together when they were coming up through the ranks in high school. And of course, the last 3 years here in college, they know one another very well.
First two for Delgado, and he works that defense against Govan.
Back to the basket, Delgado putting on the moves. This has been an excellent big matchup so far.
Welcome back to Newark. Seton Hall with a 3-point lead. Let's go in the huddle with Patrick Ewing, a big man, coaching up his big men.
You're letting that body and get to you. They're not going to give you that call. Take the body, raise up, and shoot the shot. He can't block your shot.
That's good advice. I don't know what it feels like to be 6'10", but I imagine you'll be able to shoot over plenty of defenders. But that's also the difference that Patrick Ewing has added, understood with a guy like Jesse Govan, of playing him inside more. He's got such a great touch from the outside, an excellent shooter. We've seen him knock down threes, but also understanding what a presence he can be on the inside, working the inside out. And it always helps to loosen up the defense when you can utilize those type of strengths with your big man.
You just saw Ewing over there on the sideline coaching up the freshman DeMarco Pickett, and that's what he does. He has coached up this team, and maybe it's the 15 years he's been as an assistant in the NBA, but these guys are getting some life lessons and hoop lessons from one of the greatest. Here's Carrington. Lost it on the inside. They call a quick timeout. The Hoyas. Hey, Mike Hill, Steve Lavin, and Casey Jacobson, they'll have coming up at the half on the Jeep halftime report. They'll have Villanova Wired Up feature. They'll have a preview of tonight's Wildcats St. John's game, all that, a whole lot more. That's next on the Jeep halftime report.
Patrick Ewing understanding how to coach big men. Also, he had some really impressive words about Angel Delgado earlier this week. He talked about him being a monster on the glass. He said everyone needs a player like that, someone that can control the backboard. You can win a lot of games like that. But he said he reminds him of Moses Malone in the sense of getting second shots and the things that he could do on the glass.
And you heard that because he says he's not going to block shot. Not a great leaper, but Angel Delgado always has a knack to find the basketball off the glass. And that's just what Moses Malone did. But he was, the one difference I think was Moses Malone, his post game was just phenomenal. And that's one of the things that Delgado will certainly have to work on.
I think Ewing was specific about what he does on the glass, his second chance opportunities.
No-go, went for the block. Disrupted that shot by Momo. And here comes Rodriguez. They've got numbers. Carrington. Pull it up. Crossover. Delgado. He finds Rodriguez. Knocks down the three. Desi.
That was one of the most beautiful offensive possessions that we have seen, because how many times did it go inside out? 3-4 times working inside the post. Touch Delgado. Back out, finding a teammate, using both sides of the floor. Beautiful possession.
Rodriguez has got 13. He's the game's high scorer. 6-point lead for the Hall. 5 now on the shot clock. Rodriguez knocks it away.
This offensive possession was exactly what you want to do to try and shift a defense. First, once into Delgado, kicks it back. Okay, that was the end of the possession, but it was inside out from Delgado about 2 or 3 times prior to the way it finished. And just a great job of Delgado facilitating the offense, running it through him.
Govan had to rush it. That's certainly not his strength. Here's Rodriguez. Crossover, left hand, yes.
How long was his reach to finish over the arms of the defender.
9th in the Big East in scoring. 9-0 run by the Pirates. Rodriguez with 15 points. 2 minutes until the half. Stolen again by Powell. He's got 3 of them already. Lays it up and in.
That is some focus at the end of the finish. The way he continues to read the ball on the defensive end of the floor, and watch him here, just staying with control in his body, staying poised. Powell is something in this first half.
He's got 10 points.
I think it's a pep talk you gave him before the game. You did. You sat over. Kevin Willard might need to send you a little thank you at the end of the game, because you did go over and I'm like, how long is Brian going to be talking to Miles? And it was that pep talk.
Well, he said the whole team wasn't feeling well, Marquette. It was a long road trip, but he said, trust me, you will see the true Seton Hall squad today. And so far, we've seen him in here in the first half. Here's Rodriguez. Dipped that shoulder. And they're going to call the charge on Rodriguez. His second.
And a player like Rodriguez, he does that often, using his body. And you see here Mosley doing a good job of knowing that that's coming. And that'll happen. And with a player as aggressive as Rodriguez, he'll pick up a few of those, but you like him continuing to be on the attack.
Let's see if the Hoyas can find a shot for Derrickson or Govan here. This is Derrickson working on Sanogo. Nice move, didn't get it. And here comes Carrington now. 1 minute until the half. Sanogo, the jumper, got it. The Pirates have made 10 of their last 11 shots, shooting over 60% from the field. They're going to call that one on Sanogo. A quick reminder coming up on that Jeep halftime report. My man Mike Thrill Hill, Steve Lavin, and Casey Jacobson. I'll have that. Good play. Powell contested. It's short, but there's Delgado. Misses. Sanogo misses. They're going to call offensive interference on the Pirates.
Yeah, Sanogo says, yep, my bad. I realized that the ball was still rolling around the hoop. Just a little over anxious.
Right there. Yep, grab that rim too.
Yep.
Here's Mulmore. Derrickson blocked by Sanogo. And we will go to the half with the Pirates up 13 thanks to a 14-0 run. That's the end of the first half. The score 44-31. Mike Thrill Hill, Steve Lavin, Casey Jacobson. They will be back with the Jeep halftime report right after this. Jeep Grand Cherokee. Take a look at our first half stats, and it's the Pirates shooting nearly 60% from the field. They also have the advantage in fast break points. Brian Custer alongside Sarah Kustok here inside the Prudential Center in Newark. So what do you think Patrick Ewing's telling the squad?
Let's start on the defensive end. It's all about multiple efforts. This Seton Hall team is a veteran-laden crew. They have seen everything, and we saw the way that they were making the extra pass. So for Patrick Ewing's guys defensively, understand that the ball is going to move, be ready to guard those second, third, fourth actions. and options and simply offensively take care of the basketball. Did an excellent job of that early on in this ball game. A strength of Seton is to be able to turn you over. That's where 10 of those fast break points came from. You got to make smart decisions offensively and put your emphasis on ball protection.
Let's see if they can get some points, easy points, and there you get one by Caleb Johnson as he drives to the bucket. Here's Carrington on the screen from Delgado. Delgado pull from 12, left it short. Caleb Johnson back the other way. Right inside they go to Govan. He gets the double from Powell. Derrickson turns, left hand, jump hook, got it.
Methodical, continued to use his body to back down NC and just did a very good job of being patient with that possession, or Sanogo, I should say.
He's now in double figures, Derrickson is, with 10. Delgado again, good touch.
Touch it all off the quick pass, quick movement by Carrington, quick release by Delgado. Good job of finding his little spot there in the middle of the lane.
Powell doesn't come up with the steal, but forces the turnover.
Watch how quickly Delgado catches this and shoots, and he's hanging right around in the area where there's no defenders. And sometimes the toughest thing for a big man is understanding where the best spots are on the floor to be most efficient. And Delgado does a good job of finding those open areas.
Spins. Left it short again. But there's Sanogo, and Govan knocks it away.
Patrick Ewing talked about this with us before the game. He said it's not just about Delgado's rebounding, but it's how well he and his power forwards work together. We've seen this with Sanogo, with NC. They understand how to play off one another, and oftentimes that's why they're both able to clean up and get so many second chance points.
All that personal on Govan, his second. So here's Ishmael Sanogo. Knocks them both down. 45% free throw shooter. Thirteen-point lead. Johnson has it stolen by Powell. He lays it in. Miles Powell now has 15.
Powell had some hang time on that layup. He was up in the air for a while.
Govan turns over the shoulder. Missed it. Blair, the freshman, comes up with the loose ball. And they're going to call that personal on Sanogo.
That's last play by Powell. Watch again how well he reads the ball handler. He's playing off-ball defense, extends, is able to lay out, finish that layup. And Powell has just been such a menace defensively, not so much when he's guarding the ball, but when he's playing off the ball, because of the way he can still understand where his own man is, but take some risks, take some chances, gamble a little bit, and has created a lot of offense both for himself and for his team.
He's got 4 steals here today. That lead has ballooned up to 15. Here comes the pressure from the Hoyas. Kicked by Derrickson. This is one of the different things you'll see from Georgetown now under Patrick Ewing. You want to go back to giving you that pressure, especially after made shots. Delgado, Govan. Advantage Delgado this time.
I've loved watching them work against one another. The way that they're working, hitting, fighting, trying to get position. Delgado, a great job there against Govan, who's putting forth an excellent defensive effort.
Now here's Govan now. We played 3 minutes here in the second half.
Both ends of the floor, the big men are working against one another here. Delgado bodying up, trying to loosen up Govan, back him down, and does a great job of getting position. We saw the same thing Govan here on the other end.
No-go with the block of Derrickson. He wanted goaltending. Here's Rodriguez. Too strong. Player shoots the three, freshman.
He has been a Big East Freshman of the Week, and he's a guy, he's from Brampton, Ontario, so he was kind of under the radar until last summer, and then was highly recruited by a lot of top programs, but loved Georgetown, loved the idea of playing for Patrick Ewing, and has done a great job so far in his rookie campaign.
Got 11. Delgado knocks down the jumper. He's starting to heat up. He's got 8 now. Here's Govan. In the paint. Turn over that shoulder. Missed it, but Derrickson. And they're going to call the foul on the floor. Well, it is all about PJ Carlesimo today. Look, it's even PJ Carlesimo bobblehead day. Well, he's going to join us live when we come back. 8-point lead for the Seton Hall Pirates, and boy, it's all about PJ Carlesimo today. It's the 25th anniversary of that 92-93 Seton Hall squad, and boy, what a tenure he had. 12 seasons here at the Hall, led him to 6 NCAA tournament appearances. Hey, biggest thing, don't bury the lead. Coach of the century?
No,
century.
That's a little weak. We got
Come on, PJ. It's one thing to be coach of the year.
No,
coach of the century.
No, Raph wouldn't agree with that. I think Billy, we have to show our loyalty to FS1. Raph was coach of the century.
Well, listen, the one thing that you hear about people, they always say is that they some great coaches here at Seton Hall. Kevin Willard now, Louis Orr, but they say PJ Carlesimo, the one who put this program on the map.
Wow, seriously, Brian, we had great coaches, assistant coaches, got us players. The players got the recognition today. Let me tell you, the reason Kevin will be the first to tell you why he's so successful. Desi and Angel and what these guys are doing. And, don't be giving up offensive rebounds, though. But Terry DeHare, Jerry Walker, guys we were going to be successful, believe me. It wasn't a lot of coaching. It was a lot of great players.
Take us back to that Big East title game, because it still stands as the largest margin of victory against Syracuse. What do you remember from that game?
Sarah, the truth, about 1,000 people saw the game. It was the worst attended Big East final ever. It was about 2 feet of snow.
Oh, my God.
We almost had to walk from the hotels. Jimmy Boeheim still kids me because all the years we were never able to win in Syracuse, and he claimed we ran it up on him. It was just one of those games. We were a much better team. Syracuse got to the finals, and we couldn't do anything wrong. They couldn't do anything right, and I think those guys they still had snow on their sneakers, and it was an unbelievable afternoon. But that was the one thing that team, the 93 team, did that no other Seton Hall team ever did. They won the regular season, and they won the Big East tournament. And, truth be told, we had just a very disappointing loss in the second round, and it was to Kevin's father, Ralph. Western Kentucky beat us in the second round of the tournament, and Ralph Willard was the coach.
And Kevin Willard was on the squad.
Yeah, but Kevin's brother was there. Kevin played at Pitt. Everybody was telling me Kevin beat us, and Kevin's too nice a guy. He wouldn't do that to me. So took us out to dinner last night, and he's a good. I can't tell you how many years I've known Kevin. So I almost like being with him as much as I like being with Sarah. Sarah took care of me for 2 years with the Nets when I was working for Avery Johnson. And, it's great to be with you guys this afternoon.
And when you look at what this program was when you were here, now you fast forward to what Kevin Willard's done with this squad. And I understand that you had a good conversation with the team yesterday. Tell me what you told them.
Well, there's so many similarities between this team and not just our team today that's being honored, the 93 team, but our 89 Final Four team, because there's a lot of juniors and seniors. There's guys who played together that already won a Big East championship. These guys have won a Big East championship. It was funny yesterday because we're looking at the banners, and our 93 team won the tournament in 91, and then when most of them were seniors, we won it again in 93. This team has a chance to do the same thing, but I think more importantly and I don't minimize the Big East tournament, how important it is, but this team has a chance to go far in March. When you have a veteran team, I think it's even more important in the playoffs, in the NCAA, than it is in the regular season. Yeah, it helps them a lot right now. You saw them, they had a tough start today. They weren't phased at all. They just kept grinding, and they took control of the game. But I think when it comes to tournament time and it's one and done, when you've got veteran players, and particularly when they've played in a league as great as the Big East Conference, I mean, this is an NCAA type game. The whole year you play NCAA caliber games, and the Big East tournament is the same thing. So you're really prepared to do well in March. And I think Kevin and I think this team, with the senior, with the leadership they have, with the experience they have, I think they're really going to be a factor in the NCAA tournament.
What about on the other side of the court? Because Patrick Ewing just raved about you earlier this week. Talked about you being an assistant with the Dream Team, of course being a player and you coaching against him. But what's it like seeing him on the sideline? And we talk about how great the Big East is, but seeing a guy like him and what he's done so far.
Well, earlier in the week, Sarah, that game, the Syracuse-St. John's game, for Patrick and Chris to be back in the league, Chris Mullen, and playing against each other. Get in there. Angel's going to make some free throws for us. But to see these two guys back in the big, I think other than Dave Gavitt, I don't think any other individuals meant as much to the Big East Conference as Patrick Ewing and Chris Mullen. So for those two to be back at their respective alma maters and coaching in this league, it's fantastic. And the thing, I went in and saw Patrick before the game in the locker room, and I told him, Patrick, you know how I feel. I wish you rotten luck today and the other Seton Hall game, but I hope you win all the other ones. But I'll tell you what, it's a sickening feeling sitting where Kevin's sitting today and seeing Patrick in a Georgetown uniform. It's so good that he's in a beautiful suit and he's not playing, because he did so much damage to us when he was playing for Georgetown. But he's a tremendous individual. I'm glad he's in coaching. I'm especially glad he's back at Georgetown. And I'm really rooting for he and Chris to do a good job. You know, I'd love for them to just lose 4 games. St. John's lose to Seton Hall twice and Georgetown lose to him twice. So I'm pulling for those guys, but not as much as I'm pulling for Kevin Willard.
The lead is 14 here for the Hall. Jordan Walker, the freshman, is checked back in. This is Carrington. Nearly knocked away from Delgado. 10 on the shot clock. He misses the jumper. Here comes Blair. And the Hoyas. Mulmore. Got to get out of the lane. Derrickson working on Enzi. Turns, uses that big body. Gets an easy one in the paint.
No easy games in the Big East, I'll tell you that. You earn every one.
Top to bottom.
The Hall learned that when they went to Marquette.
Absolutely. They're coming off a great win at Butler, and then Wojo's team just knocked them all down.
When you talked about Raph, I got the opportunity to work with him the other night. He wanted to tape a special message for you. Take a look at this.
I don't know about this.
Seton Hall holds a special spot in the hearts of all the Raftery family. I was fortunate enough to coach there from 70 to 81. Some great kids that went on to live wonderful lives. And then PJ came in and, boy, just raised the program to a level beyond description. 89, we all know what he did there, the Final Four. A tough loss at the end of it, but he did it with dignity, as the kids did as well. And then all of a sudden, the run to the Big East Championship in '92, where these kids stepped up big time, and I think really established the identity of the Seton Hall basketball program. Congratulations to this great team, and obviously the great coach PJ Carlesimo and his staff.
How about that?
I'll tell you, it's hard to listen to Billy say nice things like that, because usually he's credible when he talks about basketball. But he's the best, honestly. You couldn't have, when you followed Billy and Hadi Mahan, and sometimes that's a difficult thing. The other coach doesn't support you. And Bill Raftery has been the greatest friend of Seton Hall basketball and myself ever since. He's the best.
How about this? Govan has picked up his 4th foul, so he's now out of the game.
That's good news.
Listen, it is PJ Carlissimo bobblehead day. What do you think about the bobblehead? I mean, it even got the sweater vest. I love it.
This is a good-looking bobblehead.
Yes, I'll tell you what. I think the age is a little off. It looks like it's about 50 years off, and the hair color.
It does look older than what you look like in real life. You are correct about that, PJ.
The
you
just
look
for
much
men
younger.
bobblehead, yeah.
You look much younger in real life.
My little niece is up in the suite with this, and she broke both of the arms off already. So that tells you what she thinks of the bobblehead.
Oh, man, that is fantastic. 12-point lead here, 12 to play here in the second half. This is the freshman Walker. Now, you played so many years in the NBA. How much NBA talent you see out here?
Oh, there's talent, there's no question. I like Govan on their team. I like 2 or 3 guys on our team. I really do. I think they all have a chance to play, but I'm more concerned with them playing in March. I want to see them do some damage in March, Brian.
Man, I appreciate it.
Thank you. Great being with you.
PJ,
all the best to you.
You're the best.
Great
The
PJ
absolute best.
Carlissimo. PJ Carlissimo day here at the Hall. They're up 12. For Seton Hall, thanks in part to Miles Powell. 16 points, a career-high 5 steals, Sarah.
It's been the major reason why Seton Hall has been able to jump out to this lead and sustain it. And he's been shooting the gaps. He's been reading the offense so well and understanding what they're trying to do and just picking some pockets. And Miles Powell, most of his game in the past has been predicated by his three-point shooting. He's finding ways to impact the game in other ways and has done a tremendous job this afternoon.
Listen, this is a senior-laden team, and a lot of times they win when Desi Rodriguez is the leading scorer, but I really believe that he is one of the key cogs of this squad. When he's rolling, it seems like this Seton Hall squad is rolling.
And just how tough is it? That's why we heard what PJ had to say about the Seton Hall team, his insight and thoughts on them. But when you have such potent scores in 4 different positions, and whether it's NZ or Sonogo coming in, bringing that energy, doing some of the little things, I mean, top to bottom, this team is just such a challenge to try and match up against.
Rodriguez has now got 17. That's his second on NZ. Again, Govan has got 4. So he's on the bench for Georgetown. Probably won't see any action until about 5 minutes or so. Here's the drive, laid up and in by Trey Dickerson.
And Dickerson can do that. He's a graduate senior. He goes at you. He's got some spark to him. High energy type player. Hasn't necessarily gotten the type of minutes maybe expected coming into this season, but does a great job attacking offensively.
They go with the pick and pop with Mamu, and he misses the 3. Jagan Mosley in the lane. Nope. Derrickson with the follow, and he'll go to the line. Derrickson already at his average. He's got 14 points today. Go with his 9 rebounds. Make it 15.
And he was a guy, as we look at Govan there on the bench, but Derrickson was the guy, expected a breakout season out of him last year in his sophomore campaign, derailed a little bit by injuries, but he was a guy coming into this season who you knew had to make an impact, take a big jump, and he's done that. He's done that offensively, the way he scored points, his efficiency in extending his range and shooting a 3-point shot. Of course, the way he gets after the glass, he's done a very good job for Ewing's club.
Just 1 rebound away from his 3rd double-double of the season. And now the Hoyas go to the 2-3 zone with the lead at 10 for Seton Hall. 5 on the shot clock for Rodriguez. Drive, pulls up, it's short. Derrickson lost that one out of bounds, so Carrington and the Pirates are inbound. This is Delgado. Rodriguez turns the corner, misses. Here comes Trey Dickerson. He in the lane, left hand, nope. Carrington, in and out.
Carrington doesn't get that to go, but you like how he recognized the defense was sitting back waiting for him and pulls up for the runner.
Into Derrickson, that pass was at his feet. Seton Hall has missed their last 6 shots. Make that 7. Mosley. Set up the offense for the Hoyas. They're trying to get it to Derrickson. Working on Enzi. And the travel by Mosley.
Good rotations defensively for Seton Hall. The ability to send a second player at Derrickson when you have Govan on the bench. But a good job by Seton Hall when they did do that, having the other guy rotate over so they were ready to step in and help.
13 turnover for the Hoyas. They average 16 a game. Here's Powell. The drive. Right off the rim. And it goes to the Hoyas.
And for Seton Hall, they're getting the looks that they want from the offensive end. They've been getting to the cup. Some clean open looks from the outside. Their shots just not falling these last few minutes.
Well, with 9 minutes, 8 seconds left in this game, Jesse Govan will check back in. He's got 4 personals. He's got 11 points, 4 boards. He will set the pick for Dickerson and Pop. Pickett from the corner. Antoine Walker thought he had it. It's taken away by Miles Powell.
If you're Seton Hall, you want to go at Govan, get it into Delgado, let him go to work.
Rodriguez put his head down and ran over Mosley.
And again, we've seen this out of Rodriguez a handful of times in this game where he just tries to body through a player. And Georgetown, Patrick Ewing and his staff, they understand the scout. They've done an excellent job of preparing. They know that's part of the game that Rodriguez plays, and they're ready and waiting to draw those charges.
Yeah, he's got 4, so he'll have a seat.
Major factor.
Miles Cale has come in. Mosley in the lane, no. Follow, no. Sanogo cleans the boards. Pirates working around the perimeter. Skip pass. Cale, the 3. Short. Dickerson. Twisting and kisses it off the glass.
Man, he is fast in the open court. You see how quickly he pushes with the basketball.
8-point lead now. Seton Hall has missed 9 straight shots. And the Hoyas are on a 6-0 run.
Delgado's looking for it.
Blocked from behind by Pickett. And Delgado's calling for it. 4 on the shot clock. Carrington's got a pull. Here comes Dickerson. Seven minutes. Mosley lost it, got it back, in and out. Delgado trying to post Govan. And he's going right after him. And scores. Delgado now a rebound away from another double-double. And this is the first points we've seen in the last 5 minutes.
The first field goal out of their last 12, and they've gotten some good looks, but that's exactly where you want to go if you're Seton Hall. Get it inside. Jesse Govan in foul trouble, so what do? Get it till Delgado goes to work and gets...
Seton Hall up 10 over Georgetown. Let's go in the huddle with Patrick Ewing.
We got to be active. We have to be active. We want to rebound. Rebound and push it. We want to take good shots, though. We want to take good shots. All right?
And we talked about the struggles for both teams, shooting from the field, but a big part of that activity Patrick Ewing knows out of his team is getting second chance looks, opportunities around the basket. They've done a very good job of penetrating, getting into the teeth of the Seton Hall defense, and sometimes that's all you need to do. Get a shot up and find a way to stay with it and finish in different areas on the floor. And you know, sometimes when shots aren't falling, it's easier to let the energy level drop, and you got to make sure you maintain that same level of intensity despite missing some shots.
Man, there's a key miss. Key miss. Delgado now has a double-double. His 64th of his career. Conference leading 14th of the season. Caleb Johnson with the foul.
Tell you what, Seton Hall has struggled from the free throw line in this game, shooting under 60%, but the one player that hasn't is Ishmael Sanogo, as he's been knocking down some free throw shots, typically shooting 45% from the line, but has done a good job at picking up some extra points from there.
Lead is 12. Once again, they go inside to Derrickson. Turns, scores.
That was pretty, so pretty. Understood that he had his defender a little bit on his left hip and left shoulder, and just a quick drop step and move that allows him to finish that so cleanly.
Derrickson with 18. Here comes the press. Powell from deep. We got 5 minutes left in this one as the freshman throws it away.
And that's been the issue for Georgetown. Plays like that, you know, Patrick Ewing isn't happy with decision-making like that because it was the right play. He drew in the defense, engaged it. He was trying to drop it off to his big man on the inside, but it's just about that delivery. It's not just about trying to make the right play, but making sure you execute it.
Powell drives, lays it in, and one.
Powell cuts right up the middle of the floor, splits the defenders as we see it started, though, with that inside out from Delgado. And a beautiful job of the finish. We've seen this throughout the game from Powell. Impressive how he finds ways to shoot around extended arms of shot blockers. It doesn't allow it to alter his own shot, and he still is able to finish.
And the problem there was, you know, Govan had those 4 fouls. You notice he didn't want to step in and challenge.
And to that point, it's why they need to keep on going towards the basket, whether they're taking it at Govan or at least getting on the inside, because you understand that.
Wild shot by Caleb Johnson. And Goes to what Patrick Ewing told us before the game. These guys have got to learn how to finish and get good shots. Carrington steps into a three, in and out. There's Delgado, rejected by Govan. Here's Mulmore. Johnson walks.
And with that being said, though, you could see the makings of improvement for Patrick Ewing and his squad, the type of plays they're making, the way they're running offensively, stops they're getting defensively. They're trending in the right direction.
They get a timeout. They bring the pressure to Carrington. Seton Hall, they're up 13. We got 4 minutes left in this one. Big East basketball comes to play on Fox Business Network as top-ranked Villanova takes on Chris Mullins, St. John's Red Storm. It all tips off 8 Eastern on Fox Business Network, or you can stream it live on Fox Sports Go. Chris Mullins' squad lost to this Georgetown team last week.
It was a grind-out game, huh?
Oh.
You called that one?
Yes. It was definitely grinding. That's putting it nicely.
A little sugar on top of it.
Yeah, absolutely. 4 minutes left here. Hoyas down 13. And there's a steal, near steal by Mulmore. And we got another quick break. We'll step aside. We'll be back with the finish. Game reset is sponsored by SoFi, rethinking your personal finance. Hoyas with 15 turnovers, and Sarah, the Seton Hall Pirates have turned that into nearly 20 points.
And that's been an issue for Georgetown throughout this entire season, taking care of the basketball and making sure that opponents aren't able to create offense out of that. But that is what Seton Hall does. So, you know, that was an area that we, of course, were keeping our eyes on to start this ball game, and it didn't start that way. Georgetown did a very good job of controlling the ball and making smart choices early on, but Seton Hall just upticked their tempo and what they were able to do with their pressure and really started to make Georgetown feel them on the defensive end.
Here's Carrington. 10 on the shot clock. Gets the pick from Delgado. Now 5. Rodriguez with 1. The floater. Got the roll.
That's just composure from the senior. Understanding where the clock was at, but not hurrying or rushing to take a bad shot. Catching the ball, getting to the basket, going right through the middle. And again, goes back to Govan needing to be careful because of his foul situation.
9-2 run by Miles Powell and these Seton Hall Pirates.
And speaking of points off turnovers, credit to Miles Powell and how he was able to jumpstart that in the first half.
Here's the freshman, Blair. Strong with that 3 as Rodriguez clears the boards. Now they'll work that clock. Inside 3 minutes left in this one. Carrington probing in the lane. No, Derrickson clears it. And he now has a double-double. 30th of his career. 3rd of this season for him. Follow, good, Caleb Johnson. Rodriguez. They thought he carried it. Here's Powell. Missed the layup, but there's Delgado. And Powell will kick it back out to Carrington, and they'll milk the clock. Under 2 now. Carrington. Good body control. Banks it home.
Gets the basket with ease.
He's got 9. Powell. I mean, he just does not stop.
Reaches in. The attention to detail that he has on the defensive end. Understanding how there are ways to reach in to get the ball here. Look at him. He's tracking that ball. He's got his hand near it. And Powell has done it from all different areas. So things like that when he's on the ball defending. It's picking a pocket. It's shooting the gaps on a pass. He really is just so alert on the defensive end.
19 points, career high in steals today from Myles Powell, and he was certainly the spark plug. Delgado, he walked.
And it's on a day when Seton Hall, they certainly didn't play a perfect game. They struggled from the three-point line. I mean, Rodriguez 3 of 3, but the rest of the team 1 of 14. And they're a team that typically shoots just under 38% from 3, so they figured out ways to come away with this win. But take a look at what's ahead, and it's certainly not easy, especially with the way Big East teams are playing. There's no gimmies.
Especially Creighton, the top 25 team in the country. You know, the Golden Eagles and Marquette knocked down 11 threes on the Pirates. They'll certainly have to have some good three-point defense against Creighton. Johnson gets the lay-in. Then you got Xavier after that, and top 10 team of the country.
Yep.
So Kevin Willard has got his work cut out for him, but it looks like Kevin Willard would now be 8-4 against Georgetown in his career. Seton Hall will go to 15-3, 4-1 in the Big East. They'll move back to the top alongside Villanova and Creighton. Now have won 14 straight home victories as the freshman Jordan Walker hits the 3. Georgetown have fallen to 12-5, 2-4 in the conference, and Caleb Johnson will go to the line. And here comes the substitutions, and watch this round of applause from Myles Powell and Desi Rodriguez. What a night for those guys. Myles Powell with 19, Rodriguez had 19 as well. Sanogo, another senior. I'll have a seat. Here's Caleb Johnson. As for these Hoyas, doesn't get any easier. Is there really any easy game in the Big East?
There isn't.
Nah.
There isn't.
They've got Villanova next Wednesday at home in D.C. Who you will see Villanova tonight on the Fox Business Network. So Seton Hall gets themselves a victory over Georgetown, 74-61. They're now 15-3 on the season. We'll come back and wrap things up. Let's hear from Kevin Willard and Myles Powell. We'll be right back.